Good day, everybody. This is Michael Weniger, CEO of Ancillary Organics. And we know that today is what? Straight Talk Tuesday. So that's where you're going to hear it straight, right? And sometimes we can handle that, and sometimes we have to just learn how to process some things and do the right homework and move forward from there. So on Tuesdays, we usually do a little training video, and whether it's about manufacturing, formulating, the retail industry, the networking industry, whatever it is, relationship marketing, products, ingredients, how management teams work at corporate entities, just ask, and then we do a little bit of teaching on that. And we just have to realize that not always is it what we want to hear, but we know how these things work, so we can make valuable decisions at that point. And today our topic, Summer asked how to keep the heart and passion of helping people without going into forms of manipulation just to get people on teams or make a sale. And that is a really good question, and then the answer to that is, we'll give you the short version and the long version, right? Here's the short version. Value. Bring the inline consumer value. Bring your customer value. Sometimes people don't even know what the value of what they're doing really is. Can you identify the value? Because if you're representing any type of a product that just does tricks, or it's a gimmick or a fad is bad, right? A trend is your friend. Then there's not much value. But you're trying to look for sustainability and longevity. And if that's what you want, well, then you're going to have to know your product and know how to talk about your product, because in order to keep people around and bring people into the business that are going to stay around, they have to see some sort of value. And how can you know? It's very simple. If you're in, real estate, well, guess what? When you go show a house, or somebody comes over to look at your house, you're going to talk about all the benefits. You're going to talk about the schools you're going to know everything about the house and the yard and the schools nearby and everything, right? So the shopping, all that kind of stuff. You really know that house inside and out. And that's how it is with with your company. You need to know your company inside and out, so you can identify what it is that person is looking for, and then you can bring that customer value. Now, if you're looking for sustainability and longevity for yourself or a business, well, simple. Look for a catalog, okay? Because in here, you can identify a lot of value, a lot of longevity that will come with the business. Because in relationship marketing, in order for you to become successful, a company has to aggressively be working on ancillary products, staple products, things that people need and use every single day. Because 98% of the world, whether you're rich or poor and everything in between, whether you make $10,000 a year or whether you make $10 million a year, when you get up, you stretch, yawn, start feeling good, jump up, get into the shower, use products in the shower, get out, put some type of skincare on yourself, you brush your teeth, you use deodorants, you put on some clean clothes, you live in a fairly clean home. Those are ancillary products. Those are things that people need and use every single solitary day. And it's much like food. When you get hungry, you eat. Nobody tells you to do that. So when you wake up in the morning, you do these things. That's a real easy way to make a lot of money in your life, is to look for a company that manufactures, formulates, and develops commodities, right? And now we're in a very consumer awareness world, right? So when we're bringing value to the inline consumer, we have to know our ingredient decks a little bit. And you have to take away the compensation plan from your company. If you're working in the relationship marketing industry, you have to take away that compensation plan so that's not affecting you in any way, shape, or form. And at that point, when you take that compensation plan away, that's when you see before and after pictures or hear about different testimonies of things that happen to people, that's at that point you're going to go, wow, that's really interesting. I want to know what's making those results. Why are people getting all these results? What's in this product? That's when you're going to look. And that's when you're going to see the value of the product, because value is brought to you by the ingredient deck. What is this product made of or compromised of that gives us these results? So if you have a product that's just giving temporary results, that's like putting a Band-Aid on a symptom. It's very short-lived. So when you bring value to people, they want to talk about the value they received, and they'll tell other people. That's human nature, right? Now, another thing that comes along with value is looking for the certifications, all right? True, real certifications. You know, I just heard recently from 2 different companies out there that the people are going around and saying, well, guess what? Our products, they don't have chemicals in them. And I don't name companies. I don't talk about management teams, names of people. I won't talk about the product names, but I'll tell you what, we'll talk about ingredients, right? Because that's black and white, okay? And so now we're in a consumer awareness world. How do we know? Look at my posts. Look at a company that just got, given a lawsuit, right? Because they came across as being something by the name of their company and said they were something, and you felt good because you had this great feeling because it was named this company, and they were saying that their products didn't contain chemicals. All you gotta do is look at the label. And now what? Now we're gonna go through another $5 million lawsuit. But what happened to all that money from the time it opened up and looked like something that it really wasn't? And that's happening in our industry. I heard somebody tell me that, well, you know what? Our products don't have chemicals, and they do use organic ingredients, but we don't go through any certifications because it isn't cost effective for the company. Huh. Well, let me tell you something. I go through those inspections and certifications, and it will cost any company less than $4,000 to $5,000. That's it. That's it. The inspection is free. So for anybody to make that claim, and then the same person that's making that claim, that's saying, well, it came from corporate, that it's not cost effective for us to do that, to go through all those inspections. But then the guy, the people that own the company, they went out and they purchased an island or a big yacht or whatever it is they purchased. It's tough when companies are compromising quality for profits, and then they run around and tell you things that are not true to try and protect it is what they're doing, instead of maybe going out and making these big purchases. Why don't they go out and get the inspections and get the certifications? And you know why they won't do that? because they're not what they're saying that they're doing. So then I heard, well, you know, we're beyond organic. Beyond organic? How does that happen? Wouldn't you first have to be beyond organic? You would first have to be organic in order to take a step further and then be beyond organic? Just doesn't even exist. It's really simple when you're dealing with ingredients. They're either chemical-free and certified organic or wild-crafted, or they're chemicals. Again, we go through this all the time. It's much like being pregnant. You're either pregnant, you're not pregnant. You're not 78% pregnant. You're not 99.9% pregnant. You're pregnant or you're not. So you're using you're using ingredients that have chemicals in it that are noticeably there, or you're using chemicals. Same thing with whey protein, right? You know, I heard about how many of these stories this past week. Well, our protein comes from happy cows. Happy cows. Oh, and by the way, they live in another country. You know what? How does a cow know that he's living in Switzerland? How does a cow know that he's from Iceland? How does a cow know that he's from Spain or from an Asian country or from the United States? They don't have accents. It's very simple. When dairy, well, no matter where the cows are from, and whether they're getting grass-fed without chemicals or not, they don't just trim up the grass. They're pulling out microorganisms and bugs and things like that. So when that milk goes to a dairy, doesn't matter where it is, what country it's in, every single country has to radiate that protein. They have to radiate that dairy. And protein just comes from that, but they have to radiate between 6 to 8 times, like they do a cancer or a disease, to kill the bacteria and the fungus and the mold and the mildew and the E. coli and the salmonella. And then that's just to get it shelf ready. So do your own homework. Read the ingredient decks, because now we have a world, a consumer awareness world, and we see it every day, whether it's a company being accused of saying things that they aren't supposed to be saying, or whether it's the company itself coming out, like Taco Bell or Pizza Hut said, hey, we're done. We're done adding the dyes and the preservatives and the artificial this and all this stuff. They're trying to do what's right because consumer pressure is driving the market through the roof. And the consumers are just going to say, I don't want to eat there anymore. Right? So they're taking out these ingredients, and really do the homework to find out where this stuff comes from. Because all these artificial dyes, the 40s, the blues, the yellows, the 5s, they're not plant derived. They're synthetic, man-made chemicals that are linked to not so good health issues. Let's just put it like that. So now you got the short answer and the long answer. Bring the customer value and talk about the value you are bringing that customer. And we're in 2015 now, not 1985. So all your value and your honesty and your integrity and your character and your trust and your longevity and sustainability will always be found in one place. On the label, on the back of the label, in the ingredient deck. So do your homework. Have a great day. Bless your businesses, your families, and until next time, we'll see you again. Send me some more topics.